All right. Now you're just seeing myself zoom into myself. I like to check that the stream is running before I get going because I've had problems with that before. I once streamed an entire stream and I didn't hit the start streaming button. So I did the whole stream as if there were people there and I kept checking the chat and wondering why nobody was entering the chat because I hadn't hit start. So. Last sip of coffee down. Let's get on with this. Okay. Where was I last week? I'm busy building out this Sensei content plugin. I am hoping to finish it this week. If I remember correctly, I think that it wasn't sending the data to the plugin or something. I can't remember exactly where we were. Something to do with the input schema, I think. That having been said, the Feature API plugin and the WordPress MCP plugin have had some updates recently. So version 0.16 of Feature API was released 3 days ago, and version 2.0 of MCP was released a few days ago. It now supports a streamable protocol. I have no idea how that works. There's a dual transport architecture, whatever that is. It also has JSON Web Token authentication. So that's if you're building inside of like a front-end client. Oh, it's 2.2. There's been some additional updates. So you can do JSON Web Tokens instead of application passwords. That's kind of cool. Looks like the VS Code settings are also slightly different, so the way that works has changed. So I have no idea if any of these things are going to make my life easier or better or affect my life. Oh, you can extend MCP by adding custom tools through your own themes and plugins now. That's kind of cool. I kind of feel like this means I don't need the Feature API anymore. Actually, that was kind of always possible, I guess. Interesting. So what I do also know is that the WordPress AI team met recently. And there's a whole discussion around what the plans are there. And I want to find the post agenda. Here we go. So there's 4 focus areas: tools and resource definition, which is the Feature API; provider agnostic LLM client extraction, which is the AI services API that Felix worked on; integration bridges, which is AI command and WordPress MCP fall under. So I still feel like the Feature API is a good place to be registering my features because that'll make it more compatible for future whatever. So yeah, anyway, let's dive into where I left off last week. So first, I think I'm going to need to update some plugins. Let's just see here. Yeah. Okay. Okay, and let's just run any building or anything that might be necessary. Okay, that's all good. And let's get the Feature API. Do I have the Feature API installed? No, I don't, because I don't need it here. That's right. Don't need it here. I need it in my plugin. That's right. Because I have my plugin as a composer dependency. Okay, I'm remembering now. Okay, so let's go see. Ooh. Okay, there's some composer dependencies now. Right, that's fine. I missed that. Oh, that's for the JSON web tokens and JSON web tokens and other stuff as well. Okay. All right. Good to go. So let's see what's changed. Ooh. Okay, so the form field is nice and big on my screen, which is cool. Enable the WordPress feature adapter. Okay. Oh, my plugin is not activated. That's why. Okay, that's fine. What else do we have? Create tools, update tools, delete tools, REST API, CRUD tools. Enable or disable the generic REST API CRUD tools for accessing WordPress endpoints. Okay. I'm not going to worry too much about that. Oh, it looks like you can actually generate tokens here. That's kind of cool. I kind of like the fact that this is now built into the plugin. I'm not going to use it today, but it's cool. I like it. There's some built-in documentation. Wow. That's fun. That's a cool touch, I have to say. That's a really cool touch to add some documentation into your settings. It's probably just putting it from like the README somewhere, but that's a really cool, like, friendly user feature, in my opinion, for something like this. Because if you're new to it, you don't know what's going on. So kudos to the team for adding this. Ovi, if that was you, well done. I like it. There's all the tools, all the resources. Okay, cool. So now let me go into my plugin. Right. And I'm probably going to have to run Composer update because I was bundling the code, the Feature API code. Yeah, there we go. It's getting the latest features version of the Feature API. Good. Okay, let's see if that breaks anything. It might. Okay, that's fine. It requires sensor LMS. Yeah, we understand that. So let's activate that as well. Don't know why I've got it deactivated. Oh, probably because this thing was bugging me. I worked around this recently. I think I used WP CLI. I think that's what I did. WP CLI edit user email. So it's WP CLI, WP user update. User email. I think that's what I need to set. Okay, skip email. Okay, action schedule is giving me some issues, but does that mean the user has been... Oh, update user. Oh, I need to pass in the user. User update, and then I need to say admin probably. Okay, that's done. So let's see if it gets rid of that message. Cool. WP CLI for the win. I don't know, my action schedule is having some trouble. Probably because I'm running an old newer version of PHP. Yeah, I'm running 8.4. That's fine. Okay. So my plugin is now enabled. Let's check if my tool's still there. Don't see my tool anyway. Oh, probably because I need to enable the feature adapter is enabled. Okay, let's have a look at the code. Doesn't look like the feature adapter is working. Let's see if there's anything in the logs. What's the sensor log issues and action scheduler issues? So, what version of PHP am I running? Let me just clear the log. Refresh this. Okay, so that was all the command line stuff. So I'm not seeing any issues here. Which tells me that my debugger hasn't quite done what I wanted it to. I wonder why that happened. Okay, let's try that again. Getting some warnings. Oh, there they are. They were there. Just wasn't looking for them in the right place. All right, that's fine. Clear the log. Okay. Okay, so definitely No error is happening, but my feature is not being converted or adapted into a tool. Let's go and see if we can figure out why. Okay. I should really stick this in a helper plugin somewhere. Anyway, it's fine. Okay. Right. No features. Okay, I wonder if this has to do with when I'm registering the feature. No, it's still that. Okay, I'm going to do two things here quickly. I'm going to just create my own logging function. Should really be using Xdebug for this. But Studio doesn't yet support Xdebug, so can't do that. Okay, and then let's features adapter features. Okay. And then I want to no, that's not what I want. Register custom feature. All right, I want to see now when what fires. Ugh. 2 VRs post. Oh, stupid. It's been a while. Okay, let's have a look. Yeah, feature adapter fires before register custom feature. What if the docs have been updated? Doesn't really say when one should register a feature. So we've still got it under register WP Feature API in it. When is the feature adapters file? Okay, so after the plugin's loaded, then MCP is initialized. Bet you it's a naming thing, because No, it shouldn't be. See, Feature API net. Because I am including the plugin. Yeah. So this is because I'm including it via Composer. Because I'm including it via Composer, it's going to run the sensei content init on plugins loaded. And because my plugin loads after MCP, wait, hang on, because it loads after MCP, yeah, because it loads after MCP, this file is on plugins loaded. So it means that this action hook is only set up after the feature adapter is run. So MCP should only really run the feature adapter on after think about this. But hang on, it's after all plugins are loaded. Where's that code to get a list of all actions in a given request? No, Andrei Shevchenko had this somewhere. Here we go. Wait, I can probably get it. Actually, I can probably get it using Query Monitor. It's probably even better. There we go. Okay. Yeah, there it is. So init WordPress MCP is happening before learn sensei content init. Sensei content init is then hooking that into that to register the feature. So really what should happen is init features or tools should only happen as a low priority on feature this thing. Where is it? This one. So I'm gonna just add that now, just to confirm my understanding of things. Action. There. There. That is what I believe it should be. And then it should work. I think the only thing I need to do is set a lower priority. So I'm going to do the same thing that's done here. I'm going to set it to a higher number. Let's make it 9999. And I believe that should resolve the issue. Let's see. Oh, fail. What's wrong with that? Oh, maybe the hook's not there yet. I thought about that. So the other way to fix this is to install the Feature API plugin and not have it as a dependency. That's maybe how I should have done it in the first place. Okay, so let's do that. Okay. That's all fine, that's all fine. That can stay there. Okay. Let's clone the feature adapter. The feature API, should I say. And then I think it's npm run setup. I've got a login issue for this, and just suggest we move away from the whole composer thing. I don't know. I don't know if it's worth having it available as a composer package when it looks like this kind of stuff's going to be merged into core eventually anyway. So I'll log the issue and we'll see. This is the one fun bit about working with like new things that you're experimenting with. Is they can just break your plans. Anyway. This thing takes forever to install. I will say this. This is one of the fun things, well, one of the not so fun things about streaming is if you're working with code and you're working with dependencies, then when you sit and wait for this kind of stuff, you'll open up Twitter or you'll open up YouTube or whatever. You'll watch something or do something else or read an email or whatever while this is happening. I can't do that on a stream. I can't sit and open my emails and start reading my emails. But this is the reality sometimes of software development, is just waiting for dependencies to install, waiting for files to be indexed. It's often a lot of waiting. Okay. So that's the feature API. Let's let me, should I say, remove all of this because we don't need this anymore. Going to pop the action there. We can get rid of this. This is actually kind of useful to have, so that's fine. And then we can delete the vendor folder. And delete the composer files because we don't need them anymore. It's a good idea, but in practice, I'm going to have to figure something else out. I don't know. We'll see what I do there. Okay. So now we should get something. Okay, let's see. Okay, that horrible error's gone away. Let's see if our tool is registered. Nope. Boo. Oh, we need to activate the feature API. Okay, that's activated. Let's clear the log. Back to MCP. See if our tool is there. No, not yet. Oh, come on. Oh, we're still registering the custom feature after the features adapter. Because this is still running on plugins loaded. I wonder if my fix will work. Let's try that. Oh no, but it needs to run early. No, it needs to run late after plugins loaded. I'm trying to get this in my head now. Yeah, because MCP is first, so it'll run before Feature API. That's why. Hey James, at the moment I'm not using any LLMs. I'm just trying to figure out something with WordPress MCP and the Feature API. In PHP Storm, I'm currently using Junie, which is PHP Storm's new AI coding assistant. So whatever they're using under the hood. But I do still have Copilot installed because I feel like Copilot is better sometimes. So I use Copilot for like inline suggestions, and then I use Junie for like agentic tasks. If you want to see me, I actually did a video a while back using Junie, I think. I think it was the first video in the series, the building an AI-powered course publishing workflow. I think I used Junie there. So check that video out. And I use Junie there for like the agent type stuff where you like speak to it and it generates code for you. So similar to Cursor. Otherwise, I use Copilot for like inline suggestions. Kev says Copilot Pro Plus. What is Copilot Pro Plus? I didn't know there was a Copilot Pro Plus. I'm on the. I have a. Let's see. Right. It's Microsoft's Copilot. What a GitHub Copilot. Yeah. Oh, okay. Pro Plus. I didn't know there was a Pro Plus. I'm on the Pro. I have an open source maintainer's license. So I guess that's the Pro. Let's see what the difference is between. So Pro Plus is access to all the models. Cool. 30 times more premium requests. Okay. And the coding agent preview. I think I might have that actually. Oh wait, the problem with Copilot in PHP Storm is the Copilot extension is limited. Oh, they've added the agent preview. Let's see here. Claude Opus 4 and GPT 4.5. I don't think I have access to those. Yeah, okay, so then I'm not on the Pro Plus. I'm probably on the Pro. So I'm probably on the Pro account. I have been wanting to try out the Copilot agent in PHP Storm, but the last time I was using it, the plugin hadn't been updated, or the extension hadn't been updated yet. I see it is there now. So, but yeah, lately I've been using Junie. What I like about Junie, and I can probably open up the previous one, is it sort of gives you the plan. It like tells you what it's planning on doing. Kind of like that. It's a little bit slower, but I kind of like actually seeing behind, peeking behind the curtain. Yeah, for me, I the reason I don't like Cursor is because it's similar to VS Code, because I'm a PHP Storm guy. Um, so I was quite happy when these things came to PHP Storm. Kev says it has something called Next Edit Suggestions, which I'm not sure Pro has. Okay. You can choose AI model with Copilot. I think this is probably because I have a Pro plan. So it's whatever the models are available on that plan, I can choose. I generally don't. I generally just go with whatever the default is. It's generally good enough. And yeah, with Junie, I have no idea what I'm using, whatever Junie uses. Cursor, overall, Cursor still is better generally. Has been my experience. But I just prefer the PHP Storm setup and environment. So that's why I'm using Junie a lot. But today I'm not using a damn thing because I'm trying to get other things working that Junie and Copilot can't really help me with. Trying to figure out why. Maybe they can help me. I wonder if they can help me. I didn't think about that actually. Let's see if Copilot can help me. So let's give Copilot some context. Okay, this is one thing that I don't like about PHP Storm is I can't seem to add a folder. I can do that in Cursor. And let me see if I can do that in Junie as well. I don't think I can do that in Junie either. Oh, I can. I can go... No, it's just files. I can't do folders. So what I would like to be able to do is like give it the two folders and say, tell me why the things aren't working. But I can't do that. I can do that in Cursor. So let's see what Cursor has to say about that. Let's actually try Cursor. No. Okay. So let's give it some context. Plugins. So let's say 1,000 folders. So let's say WordPress MCP. And let's say WP Feature API. And then let's say WP Sensei content. Okay. I just want to see something here. Okay. Why is my feature not registered before the WP features adapter code is run? Let's see if I can figure this out. I personally don't have a preference. I'm that weird. Like I don't prefer a specific LLM. I let the app do its thing. Okay, let's see what it says. The feature API initialization happens in multiple steps. Yeah, the initialization class registers that just before registering the registrants. Issues likely related to timing of when your feature is being registered. Yeah, that's what I thought. Register your feature earlier. So do feature registration on plugins loaded. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I wonder what would happen if we change that to plugins loaded. Let's see. Nah! It broke. Yeah. This definitely feels like a bug to me in when the features adapter runs. And now I've got all kinds of fun and games. What have I done now? Let's take this out. Why is that giving me an error? Net admin and net. Huh? Did I think I broke something. Yeah, I did break something. Oh! Stupid. Okay, let's see what that does. Can access. Oh, it's a private method. That's the problem. Let's make it public. Okay. Looks like it's still registering the feature after the feature adapter loads. So let's needs to run early, not late. That's what I was doing wrong last time. Needs to have a higher priority. Oh, now it looks like it's not even running the feature adapter. That's not cool. Yeah, it's not even running the feature adapter. Let's try lower priority. I don't know what the answer is. Sure, the features adapter is definitely running before my custom feature. What I could do is I could If I register my feature on plugins loaded. No, that breaks, because then register feature isn't available yet. Should be, though. Why isn't it? That's interesting. Okay. I was hoping to do more than figure out why these things aren't working nicely together. So I'm going to end this stream early today. I'm going to log this as an issue. I'm not sure where though. I feel like, so what I do know is there was a conversation internally, the folks that are building these two plugins, there was a conversation around when things should be registered. And I'm wondering if those things haven't been resolved yet. And so I'm going to have to go and do some more digging to figure that out. So I'm kind of getting, not frustrated, but I feel like there's something that still needs to be fixed there in terms of that. And I'm kind of trying to solve a problem that's not really mine to solve. So what I am going to do is I'm going to open up a conversation about it and find out just if I'm doing something wrong, or if there's a correct way to do things. If there is a different way to do things, it probably needs to be updated in the documentation, which I will happily help folks do. But right now I feel like I'm doing it wrong. And I want to make sure first before I go digging any further. So I'm going to call it a day for the stream. Sorry, this was a short one and a little bit frustrating. Thank you, James. I'm not going to be around for a stream next week, Friday, because I'm on leave on Friday because I'm traveling on Saturday. And then the following week, Friday, I'm traveling back home. So I'm going to a team meetup in 2 weeks' time. So I'm not going to be around for streams for the next 2 weeks, but I'm going to try and see if I can record a couple of demos. So if you follow me on YouTube, what I've tried to do whenever I miss a stream is I try and record a demo of something that I've been playing with. No, that's not where I want to be. So if I go to my account, no, that's my dashboard. That's definitely not where I want to be. So for example, last week I recorded this local LLMs one because that's what I was fiddling with. So I'm probably going to try and record a couple of videos so that those videos will go out onto my YouTube channel on Monday. So if you do want to see whatever I'm busy with, I might just do another video update after today's fun and games once I know more. But yeah, I won't be around for streams for the next 2 weeks, and then I will be back on, when is it? The 4th of July will be my next stream. So I won't be around for the 20th or the 27th. I will be back on the 4th. So thank you for joining me. I'm sorry that was a very boring stream, but I will figure out what's going on there and hopefully get it sorted out. All right. Bye, folks.